Okay, guys, this lab is how to use AutoCAD successfully to create the schematics necessary to complete Lab 10. Let's look at what we're asking for in Lab 10. First of all, please become familiar with AutoCAD by watching Mr. Lacharowitz's tutorials. Following this link here, there are 4 different videos in here that outline the basic AutoCAD tools. Second thing is follow this video in downloading the symbol template, the electronic symbol template, and saving that to your computer. You may have done that with me in class, but if not, follow these directions and get that file on your computer. Then download the 33-in-1 Part 1 Introductory Activity Guide. It is the 4 exercises in this file here that we'll be diagramming in AutoCAD. We're going to use AutoCAD to construct the circuit schematics on exercise or experiment 2, experiment 3, and experiment 4. You're then going to submit those diagrams, and I'm today going to walk you through how we create those circuits and then put them into one of these viewport formats so we can submit a PDF. That's the purpose of this video. Following creating your PDFs, go through and answer the activity questions that accompany each of the exercises 1 through 4 on your lab report guideline, and then you will combine that with your printed schematic files, and you'll turn all that into this assignment area here. You'll submit this here. So let's take a look. When we download the 33-in-1 exercise, it looks like this right here. And just a quick overview of what's here. The front end stuff, you don't really need to spend too much time with on this. This is an overall learning lesson guide. These activities, we do a few of these circuits later in the course, but we just kind of use this as an auxiliary accompaniment to the course content. Main thing here, I don't need you to inventory anything, but know that components, what they look like, and the schematic symbols that are associated with them, those are things you really need to become familiar with, as it's the schematic pictures that indicate what the component is and what we're doing. So associate the schematic symbols with the component look as we build these. There's a review of the breadboard and how to use that. There's a review of the resistor code. I am asking you, just as review, to answer each activity question. So I would like you to answer these questions here. If you'd like to do it in the PDF and take a snip of it, you may do that. If you'd like to just answer it in text, that's fine as well. Experiment 2, we will be drawing this circuit right here. You need to draw this circuit, review the concepts that are in this particular lab, and then in the end of this, there are questions, activity questions here that you'll answer for experiment 2. So answer questions 1 through 4. Experiment 3, we're going to be drawing this circuit schematic right here, and then you're going to be answering these activity questions. Experiment 4, you are drawing this circuit right here. Okay, so you're in AutoCAD, you've opened the electronics template file, you've saved that as a template, and you started to draw. Now in class, I've given some overview of some of the basic tools in getting this out there. You'll know that this is exercise 2, the series circuit with the resistor. They had a 12-ohm resistor, and they have a light bulb and a 9-volt battery. We did this together. Well, now I want to go on. I want to do exercise or experiment number 3. So in my 33-in-1, this is the diagram I'm trying to create. I want to make this parallel connection of 2 light bulbs, L1 and L2, with that same exact resistor. So back to my AutoCAD here. I'm actually going to copy this entire circuit. And actually, a quick thing on selection here. When you copy and you get a green selection bar, anything that is in green that is touched will get selected. And I'm going to do just a Control C, or we can do a Autodesk copy. Take a base point of this, and I'm just going to move this out of the way over here. We want to modify this circuit, so I hit Escape. I got my one copy. 9 volt is my source. I have resistor 1, they're already there. I need to now split this up so I have 2 lights, L1 and L2. So first thing I'm going to do is delete my wire here, and I'll select this wire and delete that one out as well. I need to create this to be a parallel branch. So I'm going to take L1 here, and I'm going to move it over just slightly. We're going to bump this out in this direction. Just move him over just a bit. Oops, I didn't move, I moved his label, but I didn't move him. So I'm going to move him over there with his label. And maybe we'll bring his label a little bit closer together here. Pull that back there. Okay. Now let's duplicate the two of these. So we're going to select the label and the light. We are going to, I'll just do a Windows copy this time. Control C and Control V. And so here I have a second light, and it's coming over with a label that we'll call L2. We'll rename that in a minute. And now I just need to connect the wiring points. On our schematic symbol, this is not always necessary, but to match it the way they have it here, if you look on the schematic symbol, they do show connection points. So to make it look like that, we're going to pull those out of our library, our component library, and put those in place. So back over here at AutoCAD, I'm going to zoom out, come across, I hold my mouse wheel down and pan this across. I want these 2 connection dots. I want this dot right here. So I'm going to Control copy that guy, zoom out, come back to my circuit here that I was working with, and I'm going to put a connection dot, line it in there, and just Control V. Okay, and this connection dot, I might line him up, just horizontally line him up, so he's about halfway between the two of them, like that. And I'm going to copy him again with a Control V. And this guy, I want him to be straight above him, so I'll just bring him up here, so he's straight above, like that. So there's my connection dot. Now, let's go through, we'll update this, so this is L2. So I just double clicked on the text, hit backspace, and then make the number 2. And now that is correct to say it is L2. Zoom back out, we're going to get some wires. So we want to make sure we're on the conductors layer here. So conductors layer, click the drop down, pull it down to conductors, go over here. We're going to grab our line. So grab the line tool. Now I'm going to zoom in just so you can see this. Looks like my dot's a little bit high right there. So I might drop him down just a bit. But I'm just going to connect between 2 with the lines there. I hit escape. Those 2 guys got connected. And I'm going to take my dot here, and I'm going to move the center point of this dot down onto, whoops, I didn't select the whole thing. So escape, select the whole dot, and I'm going to do a move, and I'll grab the midpoint of that, and I'm going to just select it right there on the midpoint of my line. Now, the line and the dot are matched up there, and I'm going to extend this line down here on the bottom. We're going to pull it out until it matches to the midpoint there. So you see my green projection, I just moused over there, click, I got a corner, and then I can take my line tool and extend that straight up. Hit escape on that, and I'm going to do the same thing up here on the top side. So let's first extend a line. We're going to extend him out, mouse over my midpoint there. You see my green projection lines come out, click. Okay, and then we're going to take a blue wire, bring it down to the midpoint there, hit escape, and then let's finish drawing off my parallel corners. I'm going to again align with my midpoint, mousing over when I do that. My polar projection comes into place. Click, and I can do the same thing for the other side. Endpoint snap comes up, mouse over, polar projection across, click, finish my line, and then hit escape. And there we have our parallel circuit. Let's compare that with what they are looking for. So fairly similar. I think I have L1 and L2 flipped around, but other than that, we have our battery. We're going to double check, make sure our negative side of the battery is pointing at the resistor. So let's come back here in AutoCAD and look what we got. Yep, the negative side is pointing towards the resistor. So everything there is in place for my parallel circuit. Now I'm going to draw, I did draw my series parallel circuit up here. I have all three circuits. I want to be able to print them out. So one thing I might need to pay attention to is where they lie on the screen itself. I might have made my parallel circuit a little close to my series circuit. So I'll select that circuit. I can use the move tool and I can just simply move them up out of the way there. With those moved, I'm now ready to set this up for a print, and I've made several print templates for you here in layout. There's a 4 viewport, a 2 viewport, and I actually have to modify it. It's not truly a 1 viewport layout, but we'll make this tab a 1 viewport. We'll do that in another video. Let's go to our 4 viewport layout. And what a viewport is a window to the drawing board. So right now this is looking at another point on my drawing board. I want to change that. What I'm going to do up top here, all I have to do is double click. I've made that viewport active, and now I can zoom out and I can pan across and find the circuit that I want to put in there. So let's put my series circuit here, and I'm just going to zoom it in until it fits. It looks good. Nothing's cut off. I don't really care about the scale of this. I'm going to double click on this, zoom it out. Let's stick our parallel circuit in here. And so again, just zoom him till he fits. And then over here, we will zoom out, and we're going to zoom in on my diode circuit. Oops, no, that's the one we got. Looks like I got them out of order. I didn't get my series circuit, so I need my series circuit there. So just roll the mouse wheel in, get your circuit to fit. Okay, now down here, I don't need anything down here. I don't need this reap table. I'm just going to double click on that, and I can move it off screen, so we're looking at basically a plain drawing board there. If you had a 4th circuit, you could put it in here. Now what I need to do is, I've got my circuits there. I'm going to update this. I'm going to double click. So what I did is I went between model and paper space. It's a quick update here. Down here, this tab, paper space has a title block, and I can zoom in and out on the paper. Model space, I'm actually looking at the specific drawing, and that's where I'm panning around to the drawing board itself. So flipping back and forth. Now I double clicked in these windows to get on model space. I can also do it by clicking on these tabs down here. So I want to be on paper space. I need to update my title block. So I'm going to double click on the text that I want to edit, and I just simply double clicked to get a text tool up. Okay, and this is called Lab 10, and we're going to call this Circuit Schematics. So in caps, SCHEMATIC. So there's my Circuit Schematics, Lab 10. I'm going to fill in the text here for my name. So you double click on that, get a cursor to the end, hit space, and just say Mr. Hardy. And you can double click and update your date as well. We are now in October. This is October 5th, so 5. We'll do OCT October. As far as the scale,